Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the first 6 weeks after the hospital stay. If you didn't see the previous video about the hospital stay, I will link it somewhere on the screen.
So we left the hospital and we came home, and the first challenge was walking to your apartment and going up the elevator and walking down your hallway, which is how many feet?
153 we measured. So I was using the walker and you were like holding my hand.
You know, I was supporting you and supporting your back, and you know, your steps were very painful. I mean, that was probably the most painful thing you'd gone through ever. That was horrible. It took so
20
long.
minutes, I
20
think,
minutes just
to walk down the hallway.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Because that was really your first big walk. You'd been doing little tiny walks and things in the hospital as part of the PT, but it was very small things, walking from the bed to the chair. You know, that's how micro it was, and those were really taxing things for you. 153 feet, so there was a lot of patience with that, and pain, and just grinning and bearing it.
Yeah, and taking a lot of breaks. I would take, like, my steps were like inches.
Yep.
So I would take like a couple steps and then I'd have to break and like breathe because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, and that was another thing too, was the breathing.
So it was very, very painful.
Let's take it door by door.
Yes.
Okay, we just make it to this apartment door, then that apartment door, and then that apartment door.
Yes.
You know, and boy, that was
the most painful thing ever. I can't even, there's no recommendations that I even have for that because
if somehow
there are none.
No.
Wheelchair.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I did not have one of those.
Yeah. So we got to the door, and then it was basically just getting you into the bed to lay down, you know, after that, and just resting, and that was it. You were just like, okay, you're home. Here's the big relief and the big release.
And just a lot of sleeping, a lot of pain meds, a lot of sleeping.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a big relief to be home, but also it was at the precipice of, here's the next phase, and we're basically on our own, because at the hospital you've got all these people you can call on to help you, but you know, you're just there on your own. So this is where the home routine comes into place, and this is what it was about for, you know, I don't know, the next 4 weeks. It was just daily routine and just following a very strict regimen. The number one thing was the pain medications and the time frame of it, because there was a lot of pain medications to take, and everyone was to be given within certain hourly increments, and so I had to set timers and alarms
for each different medication.
And it came down to, you know, every 2 hours something was being administered. You know, and it was a lot, and you're gonna, you know,
I'll insert here photos,
my little, you know,
keeping track,
my routine, just so you can get an overview of how detailed it was, how much there was. So I think this is also the reality of everything really kicked in, because you're here back in your surroundings, and you know, I don't know, kind of face of, oh my God, what did I just do?
Yes.
Because
and
you know,
yeah, I had a lot of anxiety about like everything. Everything, like, what if I shouldn't have done this surgery? What if I never get better? What if I'm always going to be in this amount of pain that I felt at that time forever? And realistically, you know, like, it's supposed to get better, but that doesn't change how awful and just
it really shows
terrible that it is.
Yeah, and it also really shows you the separation between being able to conceptualize something mentally versus the reality that you are living in, and those are two completely different worlds apart. So I probably said it before, I'm going to say it again. No matter what you think and what you're imagining things to be, that's all that it is just imagining these things, because the reality is going to be extremely different. So here we are at home, and everything really just kicks in. I mean, the pain is off the charts, and the anxieties were really overcoming, and just taking over.
I had an anti-anxiety medicine. I was taking Visceral, basically whenever I could.
Because that was also going to add to the pain. If your anxiety, the muscles are tense, that's more pain. So everything was about pain. Can't stress that enough. Pain. And you were saying that your pain was, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was daily on an 8 to 15. An 8 was a super win.
Yes.
Which was rare.
And that was like when I was on my pain medications and everything. So for the first 6 weeks, pretty much, I was at an 8 to 15 pain level, which, again, nothing you can do to prepare for that.
No.
Because even the pain medications kind of do something, but for me, all it really did is make me go to sleep.
Yeah.
And, when you're asleep, you are not in as much pain.
Right.
Yeah. And so I basically just slept. And then I got to the point where the pain medications, I was getting used to them. So then I would be awake on them, and then they wouldn't really work. And then as it went on, my pain medications started working less and less and less.
Yep.
Even though I would be taking the same amount or more.
Yeah.
So finding alternatives to pain medications is really key, and I'm going to do a whole separate video on that.
Right. But just briefly, some of the things that we're also adding to the pain medications was, always using cold packs. I was swapping out your cold packs like every 40 minutes. We had, backups. We were fortunate that the hospital let us take, like 6 of them. So there's always cold ones there. And then we also had a heating pad too, because of, muscle cramping and things like that.
And stomach pain from all the drugs. I was taking pain pills, muscle relaxers. I was taking nerve medication. I was taking anxiety medication. I was taking calcium and vitamin D. So it's all on the list.
So I think it was like right after we got home, within a day or two, we got a call from your home healthcare services.
Yes.
And that's when, bam, everything just started. And your surgeon had prescribed or ordered all of the home healthcare things, which were
nursing appointments, OT appointments, physical therapy appointments, even though I couldn't do those because my restrictions were too high. Shower appointments, and I got speech therapy with my Alina as well because I couldn't talk or breathe.
Yep.
So they were coming multiple times per week. Nurses came twice, OT came twice a week, shower came twice a week. I also saw my therapist twice a week. So every time I had an appointment, someone would check my temperature, my vitals, my blood pressure, my breathing, my lungs, anything. They would check anything of has anything changed? Are you getting any side effects from your medicine? Are you basically they evaluate you every single time they come.
Right,
so I was monitored every single day of the week.
Yeah, they were looking for symptoms to see if there was an infection, number one, on your incision. Plus, this was also right in the height of the second wave of COVID.
Yep.
So they were really attentive to that, to the point where you're running a fever, and we now think it was because of the pain medications withdrawals, but they ordered a COVID test, and it was awesome that one of the nurses actually went and got the COVID test, came to you in their hazmat suit, and swabbed your nose, and then she personally took it to the testing facility, and you came back negative. We didn't think it was COVID, but
just in case.
Yeah, just shout out to them for really being on the ball and helping out with that. One of the things that I did to help Mahogany try to relax, because I felt that relaxation was the most important thing for her, was to try to help her sleep. And
sleeping was very hard because of the pain, and you can't
get comfortable.
You can't get comfortable. Everything hurts. No matter how you lay, it hurts. No matter how many pillows you have, it hurts. Just falling asleep is really hard. So I took some sleep supplements for the whole time. herbal sleep supplements.
Yeah.
I will link them below. They were amazing, super helpful.
Yeah. So I found something in support of that too, which was a sleep hypnosis person. You know, Jason Newland is his name, and it just, I don't think it was by accident. I don't believe in accidents, but it was so pertinent to your situation because it was, he has got all kinds of things that
and he has various different, like he has different playlists on Spotify. That's how we found him. Like for pain, for anxiety, for panic attacks, for relaxation, for stress, for
it was as if it was literally made for your situation, because everything you were going through, bam, he had something for there. And it's really cool because, you know, he's a very mellow guy, and then there's some music in the background, and so I think that really helped you to calm down.
Immensely. It was super helpful to have that, because I would play it on my phone and stick my phone under the pillow, and I have a memory foam pillow, so it was kind of like not super loud, but loud enough that I could tell what he was saying. And if you just try really, really hard to just focus on what he's saying,
it's guided imagery as well.
It did help me a lot to fall asleep.
Yeah, so big shout out to Jason Newland. Thank you so much for your making this stuff available, and it is free. So, you know, that's amazing. That's just wonderful that somebody's out there doing that, because still to this day you're listening and keeping up with his stuff, and it really helps.